feel like they do have some difficulties with the tombstone. So I do think that is one advantage that we are going to see come out from Infinity.
Neither of these teams are great at taking towers, though. I feel like we might be in for a long one. You know, like, when you look at it, who actually wants to be right-clicking towers? Viper once he gets Dragonlance. Morphling if he's left solo for a little bit. That's about it, right? Other than that, you're just using the your abilities to zone them out a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're on point. We could be in for another very, very long game. We do have a mess around mid. Both sides planted the ward instantly, but Dai being on the high ground had a bit of an advantage with being able to get control of the area. So an easy D ward, gold experience going their way, and they've primed this Observe ward as well to be ready to D ward.
Now, I'll ask you about the Viper Aghanim Scepter one last time. Do you feel like this snapping turtle cosmetic is the ideal one if he's going to be nosediving into people?
I've got no idea.
Okay, well, that's very disappointing.
I apologize sincerely.
Your cosmetic lore needs to lift, bro.
My cosmetic lord. Come on.
Yuma might have just given away the fact that they've got this cliff warded as well. He's getting... he's leveled up the attribute shift here. Is it enough?
Everything's okay. It should be. Maybe not.
It?
No, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it's enough. Oh no, Yuma, not like this. Please, no, sir. Oh no, dude just got chased. He went Bracer level 1 as well, Denog. He went... Oh no,
Wants to be able to withstand against the Viper, bro. You know, that's just...
Yeah.
It's just morphling things. I mean, Viper's kind of low. Already taken 2 decays right to the head. So, yep. Gonna do the right thing and chase him down, try and bully him out of the lane.
Really intrigued on how we should be pronouncing it. Like, we have to be doing it wrong. I do as well, but we have to be saying it wrong.
Says
surely
who?
You agree, right? What do
who are you to judge someone's name?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Already not off to too good of a start down bottom for Yuma, but we'll take a look at how our mid lane is shaping up at the moment. Sebastian and PP, I think both played pretty good game ones. Sebastian the Batrider prior, PP on the same hero here. We were mentioning that it's going to be... What about the lane in particular? Because I think you brought up just the... PP's not going to take too much damage from the slight, so we're looking for maybe some rotation to help secure some of the runes to offset one of the advantages from either way.
It's always important. Like, it's always important whenever there's a hero with spirit in its last name. You just got to make sure that you're taking away that potential for Ember Spirit to make plays around the map, because you've got a lineup that's somewhat capable of doing it, right? Just obviously Ember doesn't have a stun, but you rotate to the Grimstrokes lane, suddenly you've got one. Just toss the Ixwell onto him, and he feels super capable of being able to pick up some of those additional stuns and kills on the back of some of these rotations. You having a look at these last hits of the Morphling relative to the Viper?
I am seeing that currently. I'm quite surprised at how the Undying's actually been able to zone out the Viper as well as what he has. This is important, though, that Draken's getting some solo experience under the tower. I think that second point in the poison attack is when this lane might be a little bit more bearable for the Undying. Top lane, Katara. One more right click, did I get it? Oh no, the Thirst Mimicry just getting enough distance away.
Got to make sure that he gets some of these last hits as well. Oh, Kim trying to be a little bit annoying, but they should see that he doesn't have any kind of mangoes or anything to play around. Wisely enough, though, doesn't even need to get the deny on Kim. It's good enough that you don't get the double gold from the Flag Bearer creep, and you don't get the HP regen coming from the Thirst as well. It's 2 tangos that have now been ferried over to Kotaro.
Do you feel like the changes as well to the Dawnbreaker in 7.32 was enough to prevent her from getting picked up as much?
No, I think it's still pretty solid. I mean, again, it's just one of these instances where I like heroes that have strong scaling potential, but it shouldn't bust it at level 1. That was the big issue that a lot of people had at Marcy, right? Level 2, you were just by far the strongest laner in the game.
I'm just trying to...
Nearly gone for Kim up there. on the top side. The Ghost Creep ended up hitting him once, but down bot side, it's just, again, it's a little bit passive. You know, with the Undying, you might expect it to be a little bit more active than this, but he's done a decent enough job of preventing Draken from getting all of these last hits, although that creep wave, like we were mentioning before, being underneath the tower, gives them a lot of space to be able to get those initial levels, and now you're truly harassing out the Viper.
Nice play from Sebas on the Ember, and they're going to be able to cut off PP. Slide with the rotation mid. All he needs is a fissure from afar. And
the body block.
Sebas is going to have the damage. And slide up in a couple of seconds, and well, the Flame got it. A painful way to go out, but beautifully done. And this was set up. Sebasi was able to instantly cut down the tree from the acorn, so PP couldn't take the water rune from the bushwhack, so he was able to get that, and then we saw the rotation from Slide as well. So just some nice individual things coming out from Tempest to be able to kind of help enable the Ember Spirit early.
I was just trying to see if they there was any interesting text on the Slide of Fist, you know, because it's like sliding around, slashing a bunch of people. You know how I love the Ogre Magi Ignite text, just the way that it's worded, like the target is in immense pain is part of it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Like, yeah, there's none of that for Ember, unfortunately. I was thinking just with a flame guard, like the target slowly burns to death or something like that.
They need to get more creative, you're saying. You're saying you should be the top lane, can't you? All right, click, Mariano. Oh, what do you know? A Dawn breakup is thriving this lane, 27 and 16 now. Might put some pressure onto Katara as well, as Kim's able to get in range for the telekinesis, but we'll be okay. So I'm expecting you now to be able to write up a new kind of ability description for the Flame God. That's your homework, okay?
It's not my job, and you are way too young to be my teacher and giving me homework. You do see a Falcon Blade looking to come out for Mariano here. So here's one of those changes. You know, Soul Ring was like as core of a core item as you could possibly expect. And, well, now Mariano, he's going to be forced to go in for the options.
He's going to be in a bit of trouble. Oh, nice bushwhack. Move Slardon away from the fissure, so he's going to be able to retreat and get away, and now they can turn with the level 6. Oh,
the zombies are coming.
Beautifully done. That bushwhack is perfect. They blocked the fissure. Hang on, Sebas? Gotta be cautious here, my friend. Oh. Not enough coming through just from the acorn shot. Oh, that was beautiful, though. Great rotations.
Do you like how the zombies move incredibly fast when they're slow? I feel like that adds a little bit of the fear factor to it, you know?
Sure. You're scared of the puny little tombstone zombies? Oh, what level is it?
Bro, they're powerful.
Level 1. Ah, yeah, when you get some levels in them, yeah, I know. They do some damage. Pardon?
You know what you call a zombie that moves very quickly?
I don't care, honestly.
A zombie. Got him. Some stacks being made just by a Rubik illusion, so nicely done by Kim to be able to get that one. And surprisingly enough, maybe not so much considering he was dragging him all the way out of the lane there on the Undying. Does end up giving a kill over to Draken, but we've allowed Yuma to reach up to his level 6, so maybe just waiting for the Morbid Mask because he feels like he needs to jungle. You know, the Viper's reached this point where it's just way too scary to come up into this, and yeah, that's exactly what's going to get ferried out to him. Might even get lucky with one of these neutral items coming through. You know, the Possessed Mask would have obviously be the dream for him, but that does mean that Slardon gets freed up a little bit more to, you know, perhaps place down some super deep vision to go for a gank attempt. Wonder who's going to get caught out here.
Slardon does look to be in some trouble. Ryder's actually going to drop the Tombstone for this. They've got PP connecting. Oh, really nice adaptive strike closer to the tree line. So PP can land the stuns with ease. Meanwhile, inside the river, Kim actually takes away the haste, so he's going to be okay. Level 5 on Kim as well. No, is not going to... Okay. Like, are you going to continue?
Not with Ember right there.
Ah, you underestimate Kim.
Clearly not. He backed off.
Katara could be in some trouble. Celestial Hammer, I suppose, being on cooldown, so maybe they'll wait for this one to be back up.
Nearly got that level 6 as well, so might look to play a little bit more aggressively to bait in some kind of aggressive play coming through from the Viper. He's level 6.
Oh, look at the burst potential, but Ember's going to look to TP in as well. Mariano's not the easiest kill. Sebastis should be able to close the distance with the Ink Spell, getting some damage out. The rotation's starting to come out. It's going to be PP moving to top. They're able to get the connection out of the bushwhack, but it's nothing too crazy for the moment, as PP doesn't have a way to be able to line up the sharpshooter. Sebastis is even considering about chasing down Kim. The Searing Chains won't be able to tick him. The Remnant, not enough damage as well. So now Katara's in a bit of trouble. Sharpshooter needs to be perfect. The Duke, the dives are back and forth. But he will sidestep the ultimate.
That was the raindrops saving the Rubik there from the Remnant damage coming on top of him. Otherwise, that would have been another kill going for Sebas. The mid lane, I mean, this is why he picked the Ember Spirit into the Hoodwink, right? He's just, again, able to farm a lot more efficiently. You're reaching up into those early impact items much sooner. Orb of Corrosion, Phase Boots, and like I was thinking, the Blink Dagger, I'm sure, is soon to come. That's you. Ends up going down. I mean, for all the good that the Ember Spirit's doing, PP is also doing a fantastic job of just zoning out a lot of these supports, meaning that they don't have a game at all. And those are the ones that are going to enable a lot of these aggressive plays onto someone like the Viper.
I really like what they're doing here in Infinity Top. Mariano's going to look to shove the lane in. It's forcing that. Bloodseeker doesn't want to stay top. If you stay top with PP nearby, you're going to kill him off. And if he leaves the lane, then someone is missing 3 range creeps and 3 melees, and the tower's taking a bunch of damage as well. So just really nice read from Mariano.
Smoke coming out here. They're using the fact that they've got some vision up and they know exactly where Yuma is. So Draken might look to put himself in a little bit more harm. But wisely enough thinking that, look, if he's feeling that confident, then we can just look to play aggressively. Tumbler's Toy to be able to take out the courier on the bottom side.
Do you reckon they can go for this tower? Radiant have TPs to be able to defend.
Sebas is in behind enemy lines.
Oh, the fish is out. Stole the nether toxin, nothing crazy. Gotta be cautious about the deep dive attempt though. Ember's going incredibly deep, but is able to secure the kill without a care in the world, with the stuns not being there for the moment. Sebas is lacking the mana. Will be able to reposition thanks to the rest of his hero's positioning, as Slardon's just charging into the middle, finds incredible fissure onto 3, and now Mariano's going to go down, and Katara is even going to rotate bottom as well. The chains is still a cooldown, but Slardon! Poe goes on forward, just found the level 6 off the kills down bottom with the experience, and now Sebas gets a triple kill as well as Tempest, after a much better start here in game 2.
Even got the chains off onto the Hoodwink there in the mid lane as well, but yeah, Sebas just having a fantastic start, like you were saying. Bringing out the Javelin. He's actually going into the Maelstrom first. Okay. Wanting to, I suppose, just amplify the amount of farm that they're able to get early on, because they're not as quite a high risk of death. I suppose if you've got that map control, if you've won all of the lanes, you could look to just extend that lead even further. It's not like there's this massive point that you're worried about. We know that Bloodseeker is one of those heroes that with the Aghanim Shard is super capable of scaling. Know as well that Kotaro does need his BKB before he feels reliable to actually look to make some more aggressive plays on his own. Right now, he's just sitting back, being passive and farming, so why can't the rest of the team also?
What's the play going to be now for Infinity being down 4,000 gold? Because it doesn't really seem like they have heroes on their lineup to be able to make space for the Morphling.
Good question. I mean, they've already taken the top tier 1 tower, so that's a little bit of a plus. Mid tower, it's going to be, like, you need a siege creep to be able to do it, right? This is what I was saying. Both teams are really poor at being able to take towers. You know, that one was off the back of a full team wipe, so of course you have the freedom to be able to do it.
Down by the bottom outpost, a little bit of fight breaking out. So should be able to get the kill onto Kim with another round of the Slight. He's going to play the distance of the tower. He's got the Remnant just in case to be able to get out of harm's way. So thought Slider might end up going down as well, but PP was forced to kind of try and bully out the Ember to prevent him from continuing. But unfortunately for PP, he does not have the damage early on. This is a Hoodwink that is going to need many more items to be a threat in this game.
Yeah, I think the situation is just one that both teams are happy with wanting to farm. Obviously, Tempest have a little bit of that advantage.
Lane,
Bot
PP.
lane, this
Look
would
at
help.
that. Yeah, the bushwhack into the Solar Guardian. That was off the back of the Observer Ward being placed. So PP knew exactly where the Bloodseeker was positioning, was able to find that opener, and great follow-up as well. So that's a kill that can, if they can get a couple more of these, considering the Bloodseeker had a pretty good lane. First death of the game as well coming out for him.
And this is one of those games where PP doesn't even necessarily need to go into the BKB for himself either, at least not super early on, because you're not having to contend with things like the Nyx Assassin for that Spike Carapace coming through from all of your AoE damage. So I feel like you could look to go a little bit greedier, much more of that glass cannon vibe, unless you're really concerned about what the Ember Spirit's able to do for you.
Oh, look at this. Yuma gave him the Tombstone to be able to farm the Ancient stack and the Hard Camp stack as well, and even the Undying is going to let him take this full wave up top as well. Really trying to funnel as much gold into the Morphling. They recognize that he's pretty much their way into this game. If you don't get the Morphling online, then they're going to have some big problems.
Yeah, I mean, again, he is the way that you're taking towers. Dawnbreaker can do it, but doesn't really want to. She wants to be splitting the map up as much as possible. She wants to be getting net worth and experience wherever she can. And then, of course, joining in with the use of the Solar Guardian. That's what core Dawnbreaker's all about.
Bottom lane, PP's going to be in some trouble. Slardon's popped the smoke. They're going to catch him in the tree line as well. He will have one more scurry to play with, but beautiful use of the chain control. And this is already a blink completed now from Slardon as well, so an incredible timing coming out from the Earthshaker. He's got Echo at the ready. They might look to smoke and maybe wrap on mid to try and get an objective off the back of the team fight.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, again, all you really need is that Ember Spirit with the Grimstroke backing you up. Just the 1 point in the Inkswell for now. Just the one remnant. So maybe they might just poke a little bit for now. Maybe they're just going to farm a little bit more effectively until those Fire Remnants look to recharge a little bit. I mean, Bloodseeker, he's got the Maelstrom now. So right now, all he really wants is for the rest of his team to take attention away from him, allow him to accelerate into that BKB as quickly as possible. So he'll take the safest farm that he can on the map for now until action happens, and then take the more aggressive farm after that.
Oh, no. We brought down Draken already with the Atos, and Sebas once again is just completely untouched. Top of the net worth. The answers aren't going to come too fast at all. And Dai have a really nice lane ward down bottom as well. They scouted out that PP, TP down. They also saw Kim on the Rubik as well. So they are well aware of the rest of the positioning out of Infinity. So this tower will go uncontested.
That's the thing. I was saying they're around the 15-minute mark, right? They needed the siege creep. They needed this Viper. I was about to say to go Dragonlance, but he's gone the Rod of Atos first, just to help enable a few of these kills, because you've seen how mobile some of these guys are, right? Hoodwink being able to just scurry off into the trees, Waveform, Celestial Hammer. So yeah, I honestly don't hate the use of the Atos here. Also solves a few of those mana issues that Viper now has because of the increased cost to the poison attack, just with 24 int. Very valuable.
Sebas with a double damage room. Oh my lord. 1/3 of the Undying's health just taken away. And Prada's going to be playing with the ultimate as well. Meanwhile, look at the turnaround. The chain control was almost enough. But Slardon, the Echo Slam, but there's no fault because instantly the fish is stolen from Kim. Was able to cancel out the chain control. Meanwhile, oh my lord, the sharpshooter. Way too close for comfort. Sidestep in the nick of time.
Man, incredibly close to being able to get that kill for onto Yuma, right? Like, the Echo Slam was on point, just being able to go for that solo kill. It would have given him so much as well, right? That solo experience. We know how well Earthshakers can play on the back of that. He doesn't want to stop them. He still wants to take a lot of the fight over to Yuma. He feels like Sebas as well as Katsu, with the use of that Inkswell, are going to be able to find some of these early-ish pickoffs. So they're just going to be following as a trio, moving around the map as much as they can. Might even be all 4 of them. And it's only an Undying for now, but I feel like Draken's very happy to pick that one up for himself.
I'm trying to see if Infinity are in a position where they can maybe take a fight with the fissure stolen on Rubik, because I think this is like the prime ability you're looking to take in a game like this. Sure, there's maybe some other ones that look really nice, but early on for them to be able to play with the Hoodwink, because this is really, that's a combo that we saw in them last game. The Hoodwink and the Earthshaker, fissure into Sharpshooter and the Burst, so maybe they can look to play around with that in some of the side lanes, or maybe they even feel a little bit more confident to take a
I think they're just trying to help Yuma up here. Like they've got the ulti on the Dawnbreaker to be able to join at any time, right? And Rubik is just playing behind, baiting out if they were to look to dive really deep, just for that turnaround potential. So Kim going to consistently be on the left-hand side. It's unfortunate that the Undying ends up going down and even able to get the
They're going to take the fight though. Mariano's in. They'll get the kill onto the Earthshaker. Meanwhile, Kim's been able to steal the Remnant as well, so he can reposition. Mariano just gets the Solar Guardian off to the northern side, but Kataru, the freshly completed BKB, he's going to be protected against the stun. He'll turn it back around into PP. Now Sabas has been able to show up as well as the Morphlink's in trouble. A waveform into the tree line, but the teleport's still on cooldown. As Yuma, they'll chase him down. No escape out of the position one from Infinity. There's Tempest. A night and day difference here in this game too.
Yeah, for sure. I believe they've even got the Dragon Lance now completed on the Viper as well. So not only does he provide that great control, now he's giving you that extra tower siege that they... Feels like they've been lacking a little bit without the use of the siege creep. Speaking of the siege, it's 20 minutes, so you're going to have another one looking to come through. You do have a glyph available, but again, it just feels like it might not be able to do enough to be able to hold back a lot of this push coming through now that they've hit these early timings. The only thing that you really want to wait for on Tempest now is perhaps the BKB for the Ember Spirit. 800 or so gold away. It's not that far. You might even want to get one on Draken, but he doesn't need it at this stage.
Okay.
Maybe if he has 5 people hitting him.
I'd be in some trouble, yeah, with the amount of heroes that are nearby for Infinity. They will take this streak. Unfortunately, it's going to be Pride that claims it on the Undying. But Tempest, they still feel like they're strong enough, even with the numbers disadvantage, to stick around. Look at Sabas, aggressive positioning out of the Ember. Meanwhile, the Undying's going to be run into, though. Kataru, they'll find the double... Oh, my... Oh. They just evaporated. Where'd they go? Oh, no.
Sent into the Shadow Realm. Don't even need the Dark Wheel in the game. That's how strong that was. They just exploded. What? I'm not looking at the death summary for this one. Let's have a look. Okay, so he died within a second to all these things at the exact same time. Stroke of Fate, Slide of Fists, Maelstrom procs, Searing Chains, Blood Rite, and Rupture.
I'm glad your death summary is working. Mine's still bugged. Been bugged for... how long now? Very cool.
Okay. A while. It has been bugged a while. How's the win prob looking, though? Do we have a... Yep, we got 100% for Tempest.
Let's go.
From the draft, they were like, this draft, it's it. From the 0-minute mark.
Mariano is going to be in some trouble here. Zabas tried to get the Inkswell slide. They are smoking towards the Dawnbreaker's location, but if he uses the BKB when he's too low health pool, they're just going to kite him. But there's the turnaround. Draken gets blown up again. They get the Sharpshooter onto the Grimstroke as well, so the slow will enable Yuma to catch up. And really nicely done. Mariano, he didn't even pop the BKB. Oh, he did pop the BKB, apologies. So it was at least forced out nonetheless, but Infinity find 2 kills, and both given over to PP.
Give him to PP, like we were saying before, he needs that Gleipnir. Right now, it doesn't feel like he's too effective in a lot of these AoE team fights. You need to lock people in place. You need to force bad usages out of BKBs, essentially, on Tempest. If you could do that, you've got the potential to kite them around. Like I was saying before, the Morphling, Waveform, Celestial Hammer, you can run away, scurry off into the trees on all 3 of your cores. There's some kind of escape mechanism. So that's what it's all about. Force bad BKB usage, disengage, and then re-engage in 8 seconds time.
So Yuma's doing a relatively good job to be able to find his farm across the map. Second in net worth, sorry, third in net worth, but...
Robo just on the ground next to...
top lane, Mariano's in a bit of trouble. Double damage ring given over to Sabas, and Slardin again, the Echo Slam, to be able to instantly stop that TP out that Mariano was going for. They know that Kim's here. Oh, Kim's going to look to TP anyway. So look at the D-word nonetheless. Where's it Grobo you were mentioning?
He's picked it up now. Hoodwink's got it. So even more of that damage coming through from a Hoodwink. Like the power of this guy to 100 to 0, you cannot be underestimated.
Is there one person you feel like he needs to be targeting, or is it he doesn't particularly have that luxury because of how difficult it is going to be for him to position in these fights?
I feel like the follow-up stuns aren't really there. Like, in an ideal world, yes, if you can 100 to 0 the Ember Spirit, it'd be great, but I feel like the stuns that you've got on your own don't last long enough to be able to kill with
They're diving Kim. They're going to place the ward and look to take the team fight. Sebas will be protected over the BKB for the moment. They get the Soulbind out as well as leashing two heroes together.
They've got double
There's
rupture.
the double rupture as well as Kotaro blinks in to find the combo. And they're in trouble as they're not even done just yet. As Sebas remnants in forward. It's going to be cautious though because the damage from Yuma to turn it around. They get the kill into the Ember Spirit. That's really the only thing they're going to be able to find out of it is now Yuma's in trouble as well. The mana's lacking to waveform out the safety. As Slardin has played an incredible game on the Earthshaker, always in position to find the chain control when required to turn these team fights around.
The power of a Grandmaster Earthshaker, you know, knowing how to play around the limits, and that was one of those first fights that I've seen where the mana change cost to the attribute shift meant that with the 20 mana per second, didn't have enough to be able to get that waveform off to safety. Obviously, he would have died anyway if he just stood there and didn't start shifting, but it's one of those things that it's a reflex, right? You just think, all right, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to be able to get away, but not anymore.
This opens up the pit for Tempest. 11,000 net worth lead. They are not worried at all about anyone contesting this. Taro, he's got the Aegis, the second life. Meanwhile, mid lane, there was a bit of shenanigans going on. PP tried to mess around with the sharpshooter onto Mr. Sebas, but nothing to work with. So I'm trying to see an answer for Infinity to come back into this game, because with a 12,000 net worth lead and with the Aegis, it's looking very difficult for them to be able to execute some of these fights.
And with Gaben thinking it's a 0% chance as well, that can never feel too good.
Jump back up to... I did the same thing last game. Somehow it jumped back up after one fight to 16, and then it's back down to 0. So thank you, Gaben. Appreciate it.
I believe they just smoked underneath an observer ward, so they know where they need to be clumping themselves. Yuma just gets completely out of there. Up to the relative safety with Mariano playing nearby. They've also got vision inside of the triangle. Who will be the one to pop this? This might catch them off guard.
Draken's going to look to move in. The Viper's not the easiest person. 2,400 health they've got to go through, but again, a double rupture. But Kotaro doesn't want to look to move in with this opportunity until they get the follow-up coming through from the fissure, as Mariano does just get the TP up at PP. Might not be so fortunate. Another slide's going to be up in a couple of seconds. Blink on forward from Sebas. They secure the kill. But it looks like Yuma will escape. And meanwhile, Kotaro is up on the high ground. Kotaro doesn't give a damn. He's blocked up for the moment with the fissure. A bit of an awkward position from Slide, and they're going to buy back as well. Let's see how they can set up for this round 2. Kotaro should be fine for the moment. Oh, the echo's out. It's perfect timing. Before the attribute shift once again, Slardin's doing it all. The fissure was just a bait. They just wanted Infinity to feel like they had a false sense of security to move on forward, as now it's time to dive under the tier 4 towers, so Sebas will clean up another.
As Slider dies to the towers, hitting him because he continued diving on into the base. He blocked off Kotaro 3 separate times with Fisher in that one team fight.
No, it's a bait.
It's a bait, sure. Let's go with that. But he was able to land that really great Echo Slam to kill the most important target by far in the Morphling. So, you know what? He redeemed himself. Still though, Sebas 15, 1 and 9. Oh, look at this. Like they get the double.
Combo! Oh, no.
They have the vision. You can't let... If they're sieged, if they've been inside your base, you always got to check for it. It's one of those instances where, yeah, he even had the Sentry Ward available as well on Mr. Kim. So, probably a kill that shouldn't have ended up happening, but what's done is done.
They saw Yuma TP to Tier 2 tower.
And now he's going to run back.
Oh no.
7-second thoughts. I mean, he's so close to that Skadi, right? And the level 18, which is going to be pretty significant. Just to be able to obviously have a lot more of that uptime of the morph, to be able to reduce some of the HP coming back from the Bloodseeker, even just with the BKBs being popped, to slow down some of these remnants being thrown out, to slow down a Bloodseeker that's moving at such a rapid pace. I believe he's got it. That helps him a little.
A little, but is it enough though for this defense? Looks like Tempest. Do we feel like they're in a position to go high ground? Yeah, well, Draken says so. Maybe not.
I think
Just
they're in a
wave him
position
back.
to maybe like test it out, see where people are, maybe force some TPs back. But they don't want to commit fully right now. They don't have the Aegis anymore. They've got the luxury of playing around their high ground. It's that tier 4 item timing. Tier 4? Tier 3 item timing that you're able to take advantage of with Kotaro picking up the Titan Sliver. You, of course, have the potential to play around the rest of the map with the team playing as they are. Might be moving a little bit too quick, though, on the Ember Spirit. He will see... Oh, Yuma.
Oh no. Oh no, Yuma. I just...
No TP now.
delay them. Make them work for it. Ooh, the boys are coming. Instant stun on the Solar Guardian land, and still they're gonna chase Yuma. Soulbind's out. They've already used the Rupture. They won't have the double to be able to take into effect. They don't even need it though. Tempest, they are so far ahead where they can mop up with ease. Kataru under the tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, by the outpush, it's just the rest of the boys cleaning up, getting rid of Mariano. 5 down. No one falls on Tempest. You know, it's starting to what? Were you watching that?
What's that?
You was trying to TPR. The one zombie almost killed. He needed one more right click on the zombie and he would have died. Anyway, it wasn't on screen. Doesn't matter. We're getting to a territory where they might be looking to tap out. One more fight. I think this game's over.
I mean, you just made a big smoke to try and get a pick off onto someone. You did. You found the Morphling to be able to begin with. It's the best target by far that you could possibly be hoping for. And yeah, it really feels like you can't effectively fight on Infinity, at least until you get this BKB. You don't have the strongest aggressive items either. Like the Skadi is... it's useful for sure, but it certainly is... It feels like a bit of a band-aid, a stopgap, if you will.
Got a lot of vision as well for Tempest to play with, so it's not going to be easy for them to get outside the base, and even a Scepter now for Katyu as well. Somehow he's been able to find this item. I guess a Philosopher's Stone does always help out. So have fun with that now, Morphling.
We haven't seen a fight where Mariano has gone first. That's the thing that I'm really wanting to see come out from Infinity, because he's got the build that I was wanting, right? Blink, BKB, Ag Shot. That's all you need. You just blink in, press your Q, and you're laughing. Doesn't want to get completely caught out here, but not going to be instant on the trigger finger. But yeah, you just got to find a way to get it onto the back lines. Like, go for a crazy wraparound play. At least taken back some control in their jungle. Mariano is going to be able to keep this top lane shoved out as well. And of course, able to rejoin
Tempest.
at any time.
They're ready to take the fight. They know exactly where Infinity are playing. And they're up to the task to be able to just brute force up to the high ground. As Kataru's going to look to chase them back. Down to the south. We'll see if there's going to have enough damage for the moment. They're being able to hold back the Bloodseeker, but Slardin again, man. How many times has he been able to turn team fights with this Echo Slammer? Sabas can clean up an ultra kill for the Ember Spirit. What a showing out of these two.
I mean, this is the Tempest that I was expecting to see. You know, when the draft makes a lot more sense, you're able to back up. You know, they clearly felt the Viper was going to be able to punish out what the Morphling was able to do. We saw at the very start of the game that Morphling still did a great job in the lane, but I guess it's something also where you're never really going to lose the lane, and that's what I'm always worried about with an Earthshaker. Just falling off, not having the prolonged effectiveness, and Slardin has certainly had a prolonged amount of effectiveness in this game.
Oh, look at the man. Anyone shows it, doesn't matter how deep inside, they're going to go for it. No one is safe across the map.
They're even, with that glyph being used, going to look to convert onto this tier 3. Don't know if they can stick around for more, but be satisfied enough, you would assume, to, okay, be able to pick that one up. That is a long fisher. What's going on there? He's level 20, that's why. Slatted.
How's
not really the thing that you expect out of your position 4 at this stage of the game in this patch, considering how much more experience is now required to be able to get to that stage.
How's he 20? How's he got an Octarine? What am I looking at? What's going
Solo
on?
kills.
Involved in...
He's the carry now, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's done incredible. What's going on up here? Draken? A little bit separate from the team. And now Infinity. Well, they got to be cautious still, even though you got the numbers advantage. Draken's even going to look to buy back. Kataru's just going to blink it in the middle. Instantly PP. There's nothing the Hoodwink can do. Needs to be mobile, but the Rupture will make sure he can't play around with his mobility. Now Mariano as well. He's going to jump in, but a Solar Guardian just, I guess, buying some space for the Morphling to get back to the high ground.
It's a lot expended, you know. Having to use multiple ultis, BKBs. You do buy back on the Viper, which doesn't feel too great. But he's not really the one carrying this game at this point. Like, he is basically there for, honestly, not much. Even just the magic resistance buff up to enable Sebas to have a little bit more of that effectiveness. But, yeah, Draken, he got a good amount out of the laning stage, and even with that buyback, is still almost neck and neck with the Morphling.
I'll say I'm incredibly disappointed that he didn't go for the nosedive. I expected better.
There's still time. There's time.
Ah, right, yeah. If you think there's time for him to get Skadi and a Scepter, I don't know how long you think this game is going to go for then.
He'll abandon the delusions of going for that Skadi when you've already got one on the Bloodseeker. But who has a nosedive on Tempest? That's what I want to know.
Exactly. You need to be the only one. You need to be unique, and that's where the Scepter comes into play. Come on, Draken.
He's got his 25, by the way, so 2 Rupture charges. Don't even need the Grimstroke. Speaking of Grim, by the way, Ag Scepter finished up.
Indeed, Kataru. Oh my god. They got 3 bounties on side. They're just playing so far on the enemy side of the map that sometimes you forget to get some of the bounties, but now they'll go back and get Roshan. Second Rosh of the game, Aegis, Ag, Shard. Who's missing a Shard? Looks like Viper's the one they're probably going to give it over to, considering everyone else has got a Shard.
Easiest Shard of his life. It's like, ooh, I guess I don't have one, guys. I guess I'll have to take it. They've found Yuma, though.
Yeah, they're going to have the high ground soon to see the Bloodseeker. He's actually just going to jump up and start it again, man. This Echo Slam, before the attribute shift's able to come up, but Yuma can react and waveform down. They're on the prowl, though, as Sebas catches out the Morphling, the nick of time with the Gleipnir. And now they're trying to sniff out where PP's located. It looks like the Hoodwink's able to duck away. Will reveal himself now. Oh, PP, gonna be cautious. Quick TP, Sebas.
Just gets out. Does kind of feel like tap-out territory, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you'd have to say. I mean, Sebas has been pretty godlike too. 40 out of 49 kills he's been involved in for one day.
20. Holy.
Yeah.
Okay, he's 25, 1 in 15. Like, yeah, okay, it's fair enough. Like, if you want to give it to him, I understand.
He dominated the mid lane. He's getting like triple kills and ultra kills around the map. He's playing around. It's a really good Ember Spirit game, but he is just making it look like an unbeatable Ember Spirit game. And now you've even got that little bit of extra damage to be able to go into these towers with the Viper Aghanim Shard. No dive still, but it will allow them to be taken a whole lot quicker. Not wanting to use the glyph just yet. Wanting that last little area of security, it seems, around the top area. Well, actually, they do end up dropping it. Going to go for the last-ditch attempt, it feels. They're just going to back off.
A little bit of poke damage onto Kataru. Oh, nicely done. Slardin just eats the sharpshooter and even chucks out a fissure as well for good measure. As PP almost ticked down. Sebas might go for it. Get the kills committed in, but so as a BKB if required. The fallback plan. No, that will be needed here for the Ember to get out.
they might have to back up completely. They're a little bit too low on mana and cooldowns on Tempest for my liking. Level 25 though on the Ember Spirit, so he could even just siege from afar. I mean, he's so close to picking up his Aghanim Scepter as well that could just look to back on up. They're pinging out the fact that he's not actually there, so I wonder if they can just say, look, shove out a wave and either get into the jungle and farm in somewhat safety, or go for a kill attempt. But they should see that he's got the Ags now. They're pinging him out.
Oh no, not just the Ags, but now Abyssal Blade completed on Qatar. Items after items, funneling
Yuma
into
needs
the banks.
BKB. He can't join this fight without the BKB. Even if it means you lose this second lane of Rax, you got to just pick it up. Yuma's TPing back. I don't know if I like
this. The attempt, but there's the Abyssal Blade reveal. As Mariano is now stuck in the middle of the fight, they're still attempting to go through the first lap, but Kataro's just going to stand his ground, and now off the back of the lifesteal, he might feel fine to be able to charge on 4, but the tier 4 towers will be a deterrent. But I'll tell you what,
Sebas is still there.
He's not worried about tier 4 towers. He's going deep inside the base. The control's there. Yuma's gone. A buyback's available. He's going to look to use it. But where's the catch? Where's the control? As soon as the buyback's out the way for him.
No.
They need a way to keep him alive. A dieback onto Yuma. That'll be it. That'll be all she wrote. The G's are dropped, and we're going to another game 3 here in South America. Tempest, they'll tie up our last series.
Very, very nicely done. Honestly, I had hoped for Infinity's draft. I thought they had a lot of ways to be able to dodge out a lot of this aggression, but the lanes just went far too well. I think Sladin and Sebas, like we've been saying, had absolute standout performances, and we haven't even mentioned Kotaro either, right? 16